Merah and Bawang Putih. Once upon a time, in a village, there lived a rich merchant with his daughter named Bawang Putih. The merchant's wife had long passed away, and the merchant loved Bawang Putih very much because she was an obedient girl with a good heart. One day, after the merchant returned from traveling, he brought a mother and her daughter. The merchant wanted to marry this mother. So Bawang Putih had a stepmother and a stepsister named Bawang Merah. When her father went out to trade, the stepmother and Bawang Merah would order Bawang Putih around like a maid. Bawang Putih did all the work that her stepmother told her to do, from cleaning the house, cooking, to washing clothes. If Bawang Putih's work was not done properly, her stepmother would punish her by not feeding her. Every morning, the stepmother and Bawang Merah would scream in turn.
Hey, Bawang Putih, prepare breakfast. We are hungry.
Okay, Mom.
Not finished washing clothes, Bawang Putih has been called by her stepmother. Because she often works hard and is punished, Bawang Putih's body is getting thinner. One day, Bawang Putih's father came home and fell ill. His illness was very severe. Bawang Putih was very sad and never left her father alone. However, in the end, her father passed away.
Dad, don't leave Bawang Putih, Dad. Dad.
Bawang Putih cried sadly. Her stepmother and Bawang Merah were actually happy because Bawang Putih's father's house and property were now theirs.
Look, Bawang Merah, finally he died too.
Yes, Mom. We will be rich, Mom.
Bawang Putih's life became even more miserable after her father died. There were no longer a father who loved and comforted her. Her stepmother and Bawang Merah tortured her even more. However, Bawang Putih tried to be patient, even though sometimes he often cried at night. One day, Bawang Putih went to the river to wash clothes. In a very tired and hungry state, her body was weak while washing. Bawang Putih did not realize that her stepmother's favorite shawl was swept away by the current. When Bawang Putih put the laundry in the basket, she was surprised because her stepmother's shawl was gone. With anxiety, Bawang Putih walked along the river to look for the shawl. On the way, she met a farmer who was washing his rice field tools.
Uncle, did you see the red scarf floating in the water?
The farmer nodded and said,
Red scarf? Oh yes, Uncle saw it. It seems like the scarf was taken by the old grandmother who was washing clothes here. The old grandmother's house is on the mountain.
Bawang Putih immediately climbed to the mountain. There she found a house. Bawang Putih knocked on the door of the house and said,
Excuse me, Grandma. Did you see my mother a scarf?
The grandmother said that she would give the red scarf but with one condition. Bawang Putih has to help her first. So Bawang Putih accepted. All day long, Bawang Putih helps grandma cook, clean the house, and wash clothes. For Bawang Putih, those jobs are not hard because she used to doing them at home. It was time for Bawang Putih to say goodbye and go home. Grandma gave her the shawl.
Bawang Putih, this is your red shawl. I want to give you watermelon for helping me.
There are watermelons, a small one and a big one.
Trying to sing one watermelon. as a gift for me.
Bawang Putih chose the small watermelon because she felt like she wouldn't be able to carry the big ones. Because she also had to carry a basket full
I'll just choose the small one, Grandma.
of her clothes.
Take the small watermelon, but remember, don't open before you get home. Understand?
Okay, Grandma, I will obey all of Grandma's order.
When she arrived home, Bawang Putih was scolded by her stepmother and Bawang Merah.
Where have you been, Bawang Putih? Do you dare to fight back, huh?
Forgive me, Mom.
Enough, Bawang Putih. We don't need your excuses.
Bawang Putih tried to explain, but they kept hitting her. Then the stepmother and Bawang Merah saw the watermelon.
Slice the watermelon and serve it for us. We're very hungry from waiting for you all this time.
Okay, Mom.
Bawang Putih took a knife and cut the watermelon. But when she opened it, they were shocked to find the watermelon is filled with sparkling and expensive jewelries.
Where did you get the watermelon, Bawang Putih?
Bawang Putih then explained everything that happened to Bawang Merah and her mother.
Bawang Putih, you sold us the big one, Bawang Putih, you idiot.
What's this clothes?
Hearing Bawang Merah's word, the stepmother finally got a bad idea. The next day, the stepmother and Bawang Merah went to the river and deliberately washed away the red scarf. They followed the direction of the current, and finally, the scarf was picked up again by the old woman. The stepmother and Bawang Merah immediately followed the old woman who was walking up to the mountain. Throughout the journey, Bawang Merah complained because he was never used to walking this far. When they arrived at the old grandmother's house, the stepmother and Bawang Merah knocked on the door. The old grandmother greeted them nicely. Bawang Merah pretended to be sad and asked about the red scarf. Just like with Bawang Putih, Grandma would only give the scarf if they were willing to help her. They were forced to work to help Grandma even while complaining in order to get the watermelon.
So tired, if weren't for the watermelon, I would want to work.
Yes, me too. And hopefully the watermelon will be more.
Finally, Bawang Merah and her stepmother's work at the old grandmother's house was finished. Then they said goodbye. The old grandmother gave the shawl. And of course, the stepmother and Bawang Merah chose the big watermelon.
Oh yes, just the big one. Remember, don't open before you get home, understand?
Yes, Grandma. That for sure. We'll go first, Grandma.
Bawang Merah and her stepmother didn't follow Grandma's advice. In the middle of the journey, they can't wait for the jewelry they will get. How surprised they were, however. Such as snakes, scorpions, spiders, and centipedes. No one could help them. They were immediately bitten by the snakes because the contents were not jewelry but poisonous animals. Because of their greed, the jewelry given by the old grandmother made her rich. Meanwhile, lived happily. Bawang Putih, the stepmother, and Bawang Merah died of snake venom poisoning. She continued her father's business and enjoyed the fruits of her patience as a dutiful child.